Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. And hey, guys, I want to share with you something today that I think you're going to find pretty intriguing, okay? Because we all know the internet, guys, is full of content, all different types of content, right? You have videos, you have audio files, you have pictures or images, you have PDFs, you have PowerPoints, you name it. I mean, there's so many different types of content, even code snippets, like code snippets or website templates or you name it, right? There are tons and tons of different types of content on the internet, right? And with blockchain and cryptocurrency, we often talk about how the data is all going to be stored into these blockchains, right? Into these blocks that we call blockchain and then tokenized in something that we call cryptocurrencies, right? And then those cryptocurrencies are then put on exchanges, and those exchanges, you have the ability to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies all over the world, okay? So, so help me out here. So if you think about the internet and kind of its infancy and how the internet developed, right? The internet went from Web 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and now we're entering into Web 4.0, right? Where everything now is not only categorized semantically on the internet, right? From metadata through keywords, through titles, through any type of metadata data associated with a particular piece of content or a particular blog post or whatever it is. There's metadata to archive, to search, to pull up and recall that information on the internet, right? And now we have the ability to contextually call up any of this content on the internet in the semantic web. And that's why things like Google have emerged and Facebook and YouTube, who have very, very good search mechanisms and have the ability to actually allow and enable advertisers to advertise against all of that metadata that they've accumulated and stored against real content, okay? So what am I getting at here, guys? Imagine now if all of that content was not only organized in a database, right, but it was organized and tagged in a database that was not owned by Google, that was not owned by Facebook, that was not owned by YouTube, or by any, centralized company. Imagine if we had that ability on the internet to where all the content available on the internet, it's tracked on a blockchain, it's tagged and categorized on a blockchain, including all of the metadata associated with that piece of content, including the copyright rights, who created that content, what date they created it on, if that content is permissible to be shared or viewed, and who can actually view it and share it. Is it free? Does it cost to do it? So I'm trying to paint a picture for you, because this company, Decentralized Accessible Content Chain, or DACC, DACC.net, is the future of digital content, guys. And the reason I want to bring this up, the reason I'm drawing this picture for you, because DACC is the world's first content-based blockchain that features identity and access management at the infrastructure level, right? So all the way down at the base level, at the protocol level where the blockchain resides, they are implementing something called identity and access management, which will basically allow you to encode your content into a blockchain however you want, right? And it will permanently be your content with your identity on the date that you registered it, and with all and any metadata that you want on that blockchain, okay? So let's go through this here really quickly, because I want to make sure you understand what DACC is. I think DACC has potential to really change the content landscape on the internet and actually, really blow it out of the water and make it much more robust in terms of the content we can access, the content we can discover, the content we can actually share, how we make money on content, how we monetize our own content, how we, can advertise on content, how we can, leverage and use content through third-party services, through content syndication and federation and things like that, right? So DACC is very, very important in this regard. And I would imagine that they're partnering up with somebody like Tron or something like that, right? Because Tron is trying to build an entertainment network with media outlets taking content and actually then allowing or enabling media outlets to either consume that content or get paid to monetize their own content, right? So DACC, which is a different blockchain, is actually going to help streamline that process in that kind of overall ecosystem that Tron is building, right? So they are a partner here. And I want to talk through this a little bit, okay? So before I get into anything further, I want to just draw a few examples here because I think it's important that you understand that, all right? So the future of digital content. So let me give you a few examples, okay? So we all know Google Images, right? Google Images is pretty standard. Think of how many millions and billions and maybe trillions of images that are stored on Google, right? On Google.com, in Google Images. All of these images are stored, they're tracked, they're stored with a title, they're stored by the person, they're stored with metadata, the size of the image is stored. But these are all stored within Google's databases, right? These are all technically owned by Google, and nobody has like a single right to any of this content really except for Google, right? Okay, let's take another example. Etsy. Etsy is a centralized marketplace for kind of mom and pop shops that sell knickknacks, right? They sell things. A large part of Etsy is digital prints or artwork, right? Artwork can be bought and sold on the Etsy network. Somebody can charge, $12 for a digital print of a moose in plaid. Somebody could charge $6 for a picture of geometric shapes and a sun. People can charge whatever they want for these types of prints, okay? And the way that Etsy handles this is Etsy is a centralized marketplace. They take a commission from the sale of the piece of content that you make and you sell. Etsy will take a fee to actually sell this, to host it for you, right? Again, another type of marketplace that's all based on content itself, right? Then you have things like audio files, right? You have things like iTunes or things like SoundCloud, which basically are podcast engines, right? They store audio files. They host your MP3s so that you can create a podcast and share your podcast around the world. That's what SoundCloud does. They store MP3s. SoundCloud is, again, a centralized company. They take a fee. They have a model which they charge you for to use their service, right? Okay. But another example of how content is created and used on the internet. Last example I give, and I'll bring this back to DACC, I promise. The last example, and my favorite, is a company called Envato Markets, or themeforest.net is one of theirs, right? They sell website templates. They sell code snippets to help you, code. They sell video snippets, audio snippets, graphics, photos, 3D files. They sell literally any type of content you want, and you can pay for it, right? Here's a website template for $25, right? You click on this, you buy this website template, you can use it. You don't technically own it. The license is encoded into the Envato terms and conditions, right? And this is how content today really works. Excuse me. Okay, I'm bringing all of these examples up, guys, because I want to show you the depth of how far this concept goes, okay? So now let's go back to DACC. The future of digital content is here. So how can DACC take all of these kind of siloed websites like Google Images, Etsy, SoundCloud, Envato Markets, or ThemeForest, and the millions of others that exist out there? How do they take all of these marketplaces and it essentially flatten them, democratize the playing field, equalize it, and bring all of that content onto a decentralized blockchain like what DACC is proposing, and then enable all of these functions and features and marketplaces, simultaneously while also being controlled on the blockchain, where you are the owner, you have copyright rights. So anytime the content's used anywhere else, you'll immediately know about it, right? You'll have the right to make the content private. You'll have the right to share the content or not, wherever you want. You'll be able to see where on the internet every piece of your content is being shared, whether it's on 25 websites or whether it's on CBS or whether it's in somebody's personal PowerPoint presentation. You will be able to see who accesses and uses your content, right? Using DACC's platform, okay? So already Inc. magazine, Hacker Noon, Forbes have given DACC very good reviews and quotes, right? DACC provides platforms for those that are interested in the global decentralized incentivizations for doing things they love. DACC could help small media companies and creators better and more efficiently distribute and profit from their content. DACC blockchain is bigger than the Beatles and better for music streaming. So it's going to turn all of these companies on its head, or at the minimum, make them much more efficient and much more profitable, right? DACC will revolutionize the digital content industry. Centralized content platforms like Facebook, YouTube have failed us. They have failed us. Why? Because they sell your data to the government, to other companies, and they charge astronomical amounts of money for it. You have no privacy when you use YouTube, when you use Facebook. But please use YouTube, at least to look at Crypto Camacho's YouTube channel, right? Because that one's important. But okay, but they're centralized companies that are essentially raping, the content publishers for the content that they make, right? Facebook is profiting off of all the content that the people on Facebook post. They're profiting from it, right? Okay. DACC is going to enable IP privacy, personal data theft, and monopolization of monetization, all right? So this is what Facebook and YouTube and Google do, right? They have monopolized the monetization of your personal data. If you think it's free to use Facebook, if you think it's free to use Google or YouTube, you are absolutely wrong. Every time you go on these social media platforms, they are storing and tracking one more piece of your data. They are learning your behaviors. They are learning your psychographic mentality of how you will buy, what you will buy, who you know, who your friends are, who your family is, and what they will buy, when you buy, how often you buy, how much you spend when you buy. They know all of this stuff, right? So they can more effectively market to you. They can sell that data to other companies to spam you. And it just goes on and on and on, okay? And DACC is trying to get rid of that type of business model by implementing a blockchain like what they're proposing, a decentralized accessible content chain, okay? This is like a blockchain for content. You could just call it content chain. I would just say content chain and leave it at that, okay? Okay. So here's a bit of the infrastructure of how it actually works. They have a file system. They have a public chain to record everything on the ledger. And then they have development tools to actually use the content in their ecosystem to build applications, exchanges, marketplaces, things like that, right? That's how it's going to go. I'm not going to go dig into all of that. The first IAM-based distributed file system. And what is IAM, guys? IAM is identity and access management, okay? So they're building out an identity and access management distributed file system, and this is the map of how they're going to actually do it, okay? Again, I'm not going to go through this, but the basic gist of it is that content is created. It is copyrighted and timestamped on the DACC blockchain. Algorithms are used to detect copyright theft, right? If somebody else has already copyrighted it. Content is then accessed through a permissions level mapping, right? That the user and the content owner will decide and determine who get access and how they can monetize their data, content, and IP, right? Their content is then stored across this decentralized database of computers or nodes across the internet. The block structure design, this is again how the blockchain or block structure is set up. Use DACC to develop any content-based platform. Okay, I'm not going to go through these again, okay? DACC and Vinci smart headphones content. So this is another way that a decentralized app is going to be built using the DACC platform. This is just an example, guys. DACC will partner with Vinci smart headphones to develop the first DApp and DACC, a decentralized audio content platform, right? So say goodbye to Spotify, to Pandora, to all your existing type of companies are going to be overrun with companies like DACC because they're going to be able to do things more efficiently, right? Although Pandora is pretty damn good, I have to admit. Okay, so they're gonna be able to. This is a proof of concept that they're gonna launch right here, which is awesome. Makes me feel more comfortable about what they're doing. Okay, here's the team. Go check them out on LinkedIn. This guy, Vincent Nugent, he's the team leader. Harold Lee's the technical leader. And we kind of go from there. They have a number of advisors, but again, go look, guys, on LinkedIn and look at these guys' profile because I think they are worth a look, right? So like I said before, they've partnered with Tron. They've partnered with a number of other venture capital firms. They have a ton of partners, guys. If you want to join the token sale, click on this little pink button right here at the top or bottom. You will have to give KYC to join the pre-sale. Here gives details about the pre-sale and about the ICO right here. The soft cap is 1,000 Ethereum. The hard cap is 11,000 Ethereum. You'll get 5% off for early birds. You'll get a referral bonus if you refer folks. And this just kind of talks about the platform itself. Okay. So now I want to show you the white paper. So this white paper, it's 40 pages. It's written like an academic research paper, which is not bad. It's actually very well written and thought out. I'm not going to go into the details on this. The technical details is way too in-depth for a YouTube video, but if you do have questions about it, I'm happy to go through any of the nitty-gritties here because I think this is important that you read if you are going to invest in this ICO. And again, do so with your caution. Do so by doing your own research. I'm not trying to shill this coin. I'm trying to make this knowledge available to you guys so you guys know about this coin, know it's an opportunity to invest in. And here are the two reasons and key issues why they are going to create this solution. Blockchain technology revolutionizes relations of production of modern society, and the key issues of relations of production is people's ownership, right? Who owns the content? Who can pay for or charge for that content and so forth, right? Okay, so that is the white paper. And let's just quickly look at their Twitter and their Telegram, because I want to show you they got some followers. 22,000 people on Twitter and 13,000 people on Telegram. So they are doing things right from the get-go, guys. I'm super happy and excited to be reviewing DACC. I think it's a game changer in many ways. I think they need to simplify their website. So if you guys are watching this, take that as a tip. I think it's a little complicated for the average Joe who may want to invest in your company to understand. Hopefully this video does a good job at helping some of the average Joes to understand the platform a little bit better and want to participate in it. But guys, just think back to, you know, the Google Images of the world, the Etsy's of the world, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the SoundClouds, the anywhere where there's content on the internet, DACC will have a hand in, right? And I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of potential for companies like DACC, for technologies like DACC, because this is only going to grow. The need to track, the need to store, the need to distribute, and enable privacy and control over people's content is only going to grow and be demanded as things go forward in the next 5 to 10 years. Mark my words on that. Content owners are going to demand that they control their content in every which way, form that they choose to, okay? And that's what DACC is trying to enable, guys. I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. Thank you so much, as always, for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing and engaging on my channel. I definitely appreciate it. Anytime somebody comments, somebody leaves feedback on my channel, I will try to respond to everything as I can. And please subscribe, and every day I will give you a little bit more information about how cryptocurrency is changing the world and how you can best make money in this crazy cryptocurrency revolution. I'm Dan again, guys, and I will check you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.